Hey everybody, I'm that one person, and welcome back to the Spongebob Squarepants movie, the game, the YouTube series. This is gonna be one hell of a playlist title. Anyway, we last left off. I don't even think I really need to explain it to you. It's the Spongebob movie. You've probably seen it before if you're watching this. You probably get the gist of it by now, let's be real. It's been out for a while. But I guess I might as well explain it anyway for those who haven't. But I will say there are some odd differences between the plot of the game and the plot of the movie. So I'm going to try to address those as we come to them. But yeah, in the movie, right now, yada yada yada, Plankton stole King Neptune's crown, pinned it on Mr. Krabs. Mr. Krabs is frozen, we have to save him. In the game, it's weird. We're kind of still at that point, but back in Bikini Bottom, they're like 80 steps ahead. Plankton has already taken over. It's a whole long story, and we're even, like, we can see it right now. He's wearing one of the fucking mind control bucket helmets from way later in the movie. That's just a thing this early in the game already for some reason. I don't know, they had to figure out some way to make it make sense in a gameplay standpoint, I guess. Either that or just have us be fighting jellyfish this whole time. Not exactly the most thrilling way to do it, but hey, it was either make it not make sense or make it boring as shit. And they made it a little bit more interesting, I guess. But yeah, because all that's happening for some reason, even though at this point in the movie, it would literally just be SpongeBob and Patrick are walking through a desert, and that's it. We have to take down a bunch of fucking mind control towers or some shit. This game is weird, and it's not like the movie itself wasn't already weird. Regardless, this is still a pretty decent part of the game. It's pretty enjoyable, I would say. God, I'm doing it again. I've already tried to record this episode a couple times, and I mean, sure, I've had to throw it out one way or another because I'd be like low on motivation, or I would just kind of like choke and go silent like I did a second ago there. But like, it's just frustrating when that happens, you know? Like, I'm trying my best to get good content out for you guys, but then sometimes I just fucking stop talking. I guess I got so used to just doing Twitch streams and stuff, so that way I was just, like, I would be able to have someone else to bounce dialogue back and forth with. You know what I'm trying to say, I had someone to talk to, I wasn't alone. And like, sure, that wouldn't always be the case. I mean, a lot of times people don't show up to my streams. Maybe go check me out on Twitch. It would be nice to have someone to talk to, at the very least. This got depressing really quick. That's not the point here. My point is, usually there's like one or two people, usually like one person in chat that I can actually like talk to, and it's easier to talk when there's actually someone to talk to, you know? I kind of struggle with this whole content creator thing still, because you just kind of have to talk to yourself. And I've probably said that a billion fucking times, but like, I'm just gonna be real. I'm not even all that good at talking to people. Nevertheless, talking to nobody. I've never exactly been social, so it's nearly impossible for me to just keep up a conversation, even if there's actually someone there. So, I don't know, man. It's just hard. And I know that sounds like, oh, being a YouTuber is so hard, I get to play video games and get paid for it. Not that I'm like, actually getting any of my money at this point. Like, I've made around $3 on Twitch and I'm not even able to collect it. That's not the point here. What is the point here is, I'm not trying to say like, oh, being a YouTuber is the hardest job in the world. Because clearly it isn't. But what I am saying is, I struggle with this sometimes. So, all I can really say is, bear with me, please. I'm trying my best. And I feel like you probably already get the feeling that you need to bear with me if you've actually been watching my videos for a while. Because you've probably noticed that there haven't been any videos for a long while. Like a really, really, really long while. I can't get that anymore, I fucked it up. But that's what this is for. I'm working on it. I'm trying to get back into the habit, because it's not like I didn't like making YouTube videos. It's just that I'm trying so hard to try different things, and then there was the whole push for affiliate thing. Kinda got in the way of things. It's a long story. And it really didn't help that I decided to do that whole push for affiliate thing right when I was trying to get back into making YouTube videos. And right when the holiday season was rolling around, so I would have like no fucking free time to do this shit. I probably already explained all this last episode, didn't I? It's whatever. If you guys watch these videos, you probably just come here to hear me ramble anyways. In which case, thanks for staying around and listening. The few people that watch these videos are probably really good listeners. Or at the very least, I don't know, you watch my videos? I don't know. Either way, I appreciate you being here. Even if this is a complete train wreck. But I haven't even, like, talked about the game, like, at all, besides giving you a rundown of the plot. But here I have something that I do want to talk about. So you know this ability that we've been using, like, this whole time? Which is very obviously taken straight out of Battle for Bikini Bottom? Well, in this game, you can upgrade abilities. And I wanted to address this, because upgrading the Bash ability probably shouldn't be your first move. Because you can very easily fuck up getting some of the secrets. Like, I already showed you a little bit earlier when I was trying to get one of the larger things, one of the larger upgrade points. Like the 50 weight. I fucked that easily, but that was kind of on me. This one right here is for a treasure chest, and it's a pretty easy puzzle. You just go underneath, and I fucked it up. I still fucked it up. What you're supposed to do is go underneath and hit those boxes, those floating boxes, in order of these boxes in the back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's the thing. If you upgrade the Bash move, you make it almost impossible to do that. Because the thing is, once you upgrade it, instead of just going up into the air and smacking it, like this, what happens is you stick the glove into the object, and then you press the button again to make it explode. Obviously, since the stack with the 4 is right in the middle, you can't really do that, because it just completely fucks up the whole secret. I mentioned a lot in the last episode that this game just has lots of small problems and details like that. That is one of them, and that is very important. So if you're planning on 100%ing this game yourself, for one thing, more power to you. I wouldn't fucking do it. I mean, I have done it, but I wouldn't recommend doing it, is what I'm trying to say. But also, keep shit like that in mind, because you will just not be able to... I mean, you can still theoretically do it, but it's not gonna be easy. Like, in the fucking slightest. Like, I would honestly recommend, if you're going to be 100%ing this game, just don't upgrade your abilities until you get, like, super late into it, and it's just, like, specific challenges, like the driving level challenges that you have to do. Because otherwise you can very easily just get completely stuck. Well, not completely stuck, but it'll be a lot more difficult, as you have already seen. I don't know how they didn't... I don't know if they didn't notice that or anything. I mean, it's probably just that they made the upgrades and made the levels separate from each other. Like, they probably made the levels first and then thought, oh, what if we added an upgrade system so people can make their abilities different? That would be fun. And they just didn't think to go back and change anything. That's besides the point. It's kind of a mess. If you're playing this game yourself, or playing alongside or something, watch out for that. Regardless, here's another one of the weird, pointless padding challenges in this game. And to be perfectly honest with you, I don't mind these too much. I mean, I don't think they were necessary, but also, it's just a fun little thing. It probably doesn't help that I'm already a fan of the Super Monkey Ball games, and this is pretty much just like a miniature version of that, without a time limit. But I mean, it's still a little fun addition. And it's nice that they're reusing things from the last game, Battle for Bikini Bottom, but in a way so that it's not just lazy, you know? Like, they're using... I'm losing track of what I'm trying to say. Give me a second. Okay, so, what I'm trying to say is, because they had to base this game off of a movie, they didn't have much to work with in terms of making a game. So they had to make little changes like this, thus why there's a lot of padding in this game. On top of that, because they base it off of the engine for the old game, not only does it have a very solid base, but also they're able to reuse things like this and not have it feel awkward or out of place by having a little bonus zone like this. I think that's what I'm trying to say. I kind of lost track of it like halfway through. You kind of get the gist of what I'm trying to say, though. I like the rolling Spongebob challenges. It's not the most thrilling thing, but they're kind of fun. It's better than the arena challenge, I guess. Then again, that's kind of a low bar to set, considering that's barely even a thing. This game is not known for having the most intense combat, or even the most in-depth combat. I mean, I've pretty much just been spamming B as I run towards the enemy, unless it has a specific attack I need to use, like that one. But, you know, it's just like what I've been saying in the first episode. This game is just at a very awkward crossroads of, like, there are hints of great and hints of not good at all, and it's just awkward and weird to try to say how good this game is, you know? It's just hard to explain. That's the best way to put it. It's complicated. It's hard to explain. It doesn't make much sense. Either way, I'm probably going to be very harsh to the rest of this game too, in a lot of ways. So I'm just going to come right out and say it. I enjoy this game. I would recommend you play this game. If you're given the choice between this and Battle for Bikini Bottom, I would recommend Battle for Bikini Bottom more. But I mean, you know, this isn't a bad game by any means. It's certainly enjoyable. It just has a lot of issues here and there. This is going to be the most bipolar playthrough of anything ever, because I'm just going to be constantly talking about how this game is both great and terrible. And it's just so awkward and weird. But you know what? That's fine. Oh look, another padding challenge. I forgot that there were so many on this one. Well, I mean, so many, quote-unquote. I think there's only 2. But still. This one is also very similar, or this one is very similar to the Spongebob challenge. But it's not anywhere near as interesting. Like, it's the same general idea, I guess. But considering you're just kind of jumping through a bunch of the exact same generic-looking block, you know, it's not the most interesting thing in the world. You know? Like, as you can see, it's not exactly very tough either. They'll get slightly more tough as it goes on. I mean, I will say I prefer these to, like, the driving and slide level challenges, like the last ones of those, because those ones are just sometimes outright unfair. Or at least they feel unfair. Especially because the driving controls kind of suck. And the slide levels, I already mentioned it before. There's one where it just feels like you have to glitch the game, and even then you'll barely succeed. That's besides the point. Even if these aren't the most interesting and aren't the most difficult, it's at least something, I guess. It's a better challenge because it feels fair. It's not really something that I would have said was worth putting in the game, though. These floating block challenges are kind of boring. That's all there is to it. And I will try to maybe cut some of these out, just because it's not long, but it's an average length, I would say, and it's not very interesting. So I'll try to cut out those, maybe. I don't know. I'll think about it. I'll figure it out. I mean, after all, I still don't even have a way to edit these videos, as I'm sure you've already noticed. And if I'm going to be trying to make more YouTube content, then I should probably try to do that a bit more. But that's besides the point. At the moment, we still don't have an editor, even if that was at some point planned for this series. I mean, I mentioned that in the last one, right? That there was originally going to be an editor for this, and then things... Not that they got complicated, just that we got too busy and I felt bad asking him to do it for free, even though he was fine with that. Whatever. All that's besides the point. Go check out his channel. I'm not sure if he does anything anymore, but he's like the fourth one in the friends channels list. Try Angel Wings or something. He does a lot of Terraria. So if you like Terraria, go watch his channel, I guess. Not that I can make you do anything, but like, I don't know, I'm sure it's good content. I'm sure you would enjoy it. Clearly I don't know anything about good content if I'm making this. Whatever, it's fine. I should probably use some of my upgrade points. Or maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I'll just make it a challenge and just never upgrade any of my characters throughout this entire game. And just see how much more difficult it is to beat the game like that. I'm probably gonna regret saying that, but you know what? Fuck it. For now, let's roll with it. I'm just gonna say that it's a challenge, and maybe that'll bring in more views. I don't know, I need to try to do better as a content creator. Actually, you know what? I don't know if I want to be honest with you, because one thing I've noticed that is almost necessary to be a quote-unquote good content creator, but really pisses me off, is like shitty clickbait titles and thumbnails, you know? Like, don't get me wrong, obviously you have to do clickbait to make your video look interesting and appealing for people to click on. But like, then there are obvious ones where it's like, just someone saying shit to try to piss people off, just so that they can get rage clicks. And like, for one thing, that shit never works on me, because I just see that and it's like, yeah, sure buddy, definitely something that you wholeheartedly agree with and are definitely not saying just so that you can piss people off for views. That's definitely real and definitely what you think. But also it's like, dude, just fuck off already, you know? It's so annoying when people just make shit up just to piss people off. I mean, I guess that means it's effective, but like, good god, man. And it feels so scummy when people do it to try to get views and shit on their videos. I don't know, it's just irritating. And it's so obnoxious that I see it all the fucking time on YouTube. It's not like I watch anything like that, as I just mentioned. But, like, at the same time, YouTube always fucking recommends it because it's always, like, at the peak of their fucking algorithm. And it's so annoying. Like, good god, man. If you want to make video essays, that's fine. But don't be a dickhead about it. It's got really overly aggressive really quick. But you know what? That shit's been bothering me so much, and I just have to get it off my chest. And I'm trying really hard to not rant about a bunch of other shit right now, because there's a lot of things about YouTube that have been bothering me a lot lately. But for now, I'll hold my tongue.
Ugly plankton propaganda towers. Use whatever you can find to knock them down.
So this is the first slide level of the game. And it's fine, I guess. I have an interesting detail to share with you, for one thing.
Here on the edge of the desert. Oh, breathtakingly evil. These tracks formed part of the slide through this area. I need you two to race down them and knock those towers over.
Sounds kinda hard.
Don't worry, guys. Stay on the track, jump over obstacles, and hit any plankton signs you see along the way. Good luck.
Okay, pause. I want to take note of the fact that she says plankton signs. Funny thing about that, there aren't actually any quote-unquote plankton signs on the track. As I'm sure you saw when the whole overview was going on, there were targets. Those targets originally had like a plankton sign texture, and they got changed to targets. But I guess they just didn't change the dialogue to match it, or something. Oh, I didn't realize that it was just one tap away from starting. Whatever, you get the point. These targets are what she means by plankton signs, which is weird because they don't look anything like plankton signs. And I'm not just making this up about the signs originally having a plankton texture. There's like a video that plays if you wait on the title screen for long enough on this game, and there's like a short clip of this level. And in that clip, I'm pretty sure you can see that the targets have plankton sign textures. Maybe I'll show it to you later, or maybe not. I'll probably forget that I even said that. Whatever, you get the point. You can see that that was originally how the level was. I guess they changed it to targets to make it a little bit more obvious that you should be hitting them. Or maybe they just forgot that they said that or something. I don't know. It's hard to explain. Or it's hard to wager a guess without actually knowing. It's not really all that hard to explain, I guess. Regardless, I just thought that was an interesting thing to mention. That they just kind of changed that for possibly no reason. My best guess is that they just did it to make it more obvious that you're supposed to hit the targets. I mean, that would make sense. Without being actively told to hit the plankton signs, I probably would have assumed not to hit them or something. Like, it would have just looked like a wall to me. But I mean, because they did actively tell us to hit the plankton signs, now it's all confusing. Oh, this is the very beginning of the track, isn't it? I'm used to when you get to the fucking bonus challenges and like the time trials, so I'm trying to skip parts. But I guess that did the opposite, because now we're all the way back to the beginning. That was weird. I thought it looked empty, but I didn't actually think that it unloaded everything. Okay, that was... This whole thing is going weird, and it's entirely my fault. It is quite literally going off the rails, because I quite literally went off the rails. Anyway, we can get this now, and the thing is, I was gonna actually say earlier that you can't get that on the first run through of it. Oh my god. What the hell? Whoa, what the hell was that? I apologize for whatever the fuck was going on with my voice there. Anyway, as I was saying, I was originally gonna say how you can't get that treasure chest on the first run-through of this level. But apparently I found a way that you can get the treasure chest on the first run-through of the level, even if I did technically loop back to the beginning. So, you know what? I thought that this was gonna be easy for a series for me to go through because I was gonna be able to tell you a bunch of shit that I already knew. Apparently I'm learning this game just as much as you are, because I have never seen that whole deload the beginning of the area and go back to it thing. And I have never gotten that chest on the first run through. Also, there was a very awkward lag spike for a second there. But I'm sure it's fine. Either that or my little stunt at the beginning of this stage, or more specifically the one that sent me back to the beginning of the stage, is slowly destroying everything, and we have to get through this shit quickly before the game crashes or something. I don't think that's what's going on, but I mean, fucking, I don't know. You never know when you can find a glitch in any game, really. Sometimes it just happens, and then suddenly, all of a sudden, I'm saying sudden a lot, the game just starts to tear itself in half, and there's just nothing you can really do about it. All because you made, like, one small mistake. On the subject of mistakes, you saw that tiny path on the right that we passed by? You pretty much have to do that to get some of the time trial things. And I'm not just mentioning that because I think the time trials themselves are a mistake, but I'm also saying that because, I mean, that takes practice to get on that super tiny, thin path and then go through all of it. At the very least, it took me practice. And it's super obnoxious that it's right at the end of the stage, too. But we made it.
I knew you guys could do it. Here's your reward.
Let's try to get to the next level in case there is some sort of glitch domino effect happening because I looped back to the beginning. I don't think there is. I don't think there would be something as big of a mistake as that in this game, but still.
Our heroes, having foiled Plankton's evil plans, continue across the desert. But Plankton remains one stubby step ahead of them. He sends someone to make sure that they will fail. He is a vicious, ruthless killer named Dennis. Fortunately, Spongebob and Patrick have discovered the paddy wagon in a parking lot. But the key is missing. So the only thing to do is to go into the rough, tough bar and look for it. Good luck, my friends. You're going to need it.
God, some of this game's cutscenes suck. I know I already said that, but like, Jesus, man. You couldn't have at least tried to do that with the models like you did in the other two games? Whatever. I'm sorry, I just have to rant sometimes.
Good news, Patrick. You've got enough Goofy Goober tokens for me to teach you a new ability.
I'm gonna end this one off after this whole cutscene right here.
My flop is the mightiest flop of all!
It's called the Smash.
In the air?
Yes, you have to be in the air for the Smash to work. You can use it to press buttons, break through floors, and even defeat enemies. The paddy wagon is parked outside, but you'll need to get the key back to use it.
That doesn't sound hard.
You'll probably have to defeat all of the thugs to get to it.
That sounds hard.
You can do it, I know you can.
Well, if you believe in me, then I can do it.
Oh, I forgot there was one more.
To
Paddy
the
wagon.
paddy wagon. Careful. Easy. You got it!
Alright. Now I'm gonna end this one off here. Thank you to everyone who stuck around and dealt with me not uploading anything to YouTube for like a year straight. And I am going to end this one off in a very nervous state because this is where my last playthrough of this game had to get pretty much completely wiped. I don't want that to happen again. It should be fine, but, you know, can't help being a little bit nervous. Regardless, I will hopefully see you on the next one. Peace.